Judgment. I stay away from judgment because of personal judgment of individual people. I stay away from personal judgment of individual people for two reasons. It's not for me to judge the outcome of the contract that they're living, one. And two, I just had it on the tip of my head. Hold on. Brain fart. And two, when you mix into judging people, you start leaning on other people's understanding for why you did that, for why you made the judgment in the first place. Like, people like to reach to stories, or they like to reach to something someone said. Now, in divine principle, removing the ego is the most important thing so you can be guided. So first and foremost, you're not getting no messages unless you have a decreased ego. It's just not going to happen. And if, like, your mind is not going to allow you to decode it correctly, you may feel certain things, but you won't follow it. This is the reason for self-awareness. When you're dealing with self-awareness, you're actually clearing out what you think you know, or the normal senses that you use every day to ignite another set of senses that are unfamiliar to you, that guide you in a certain direction once you start using them. But you have to remove the ego, because you're going to be in your head about it. You're going to tell yourself, I'm not this, I'm not doing that, I didn't hear this. Like, you're going to fight your own self how you fight the world. So subsequently, people who claim they're awakened or have some form of spirituality, they're not going to always be the ones on the literal mind path. You're not going to always be like, oh, literally, I found it here, I got this. That's not spiritual. You know what I'm saying? That's trying to prove something. You know what I mean? And spirituality, you know what I mean, is based off the unseen. So there's that word faith, depending on what you believe in. You know what I mean? And if whatever your belief is, it has to be simultaneously connected to facts actually taking place within your life. This is called experience, you know what I'm saying, which are fleeting. So you can't save them, but you can download all these experiences that you have had and document them in your life as something particular. Now, for the most part, you know, everybody wants to be able to, in some aspect, say that they're at some level of spirituality. Well, that goes without saying if your actions are playing a role through your everyday normal circumstance. Like, it'll show in who you are as a person. Like, most of the time, spirituality is coming off of you because your demeanor is spiritual. You see what I'm saying? The way you speak will be spiritual because you have a spiritual heart and a spiritual mind. The way you handle people will end up being spiritual because, you know what I mean? It's just like these things start following that understanding or that narrative because of the characteristics that come with each level of that connection to those bases. People want to say it. It's good to say it. It sounds good to hear it. You know, ears like to be, you know, massaged in some aspect too with sound. You know what I mean? Ears are addicted to sound, and so our eyes are addicted to sight. You know what I mean? And like, people got to wake up. It don't work like that. So for the most part, it's good to say things. It's good to talk to people, but I stay away from condemnation. I don't condemn nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because where somebody's wrong at, that might be the lesson they need to come out to rise their spirituality, and they might have to go through that. Like, they may have to go that. So this is why I also stay away from books, because people's egotistical value is what wrote books at one point. You know what I'm saying? And what they dealt with. They wasn't just writing it because, oh, this is the facts. They was writing it according to what was in their surroundings, lack thereof, or what they really knew. And if these people were still in the survival mentality, so to say, from the times that speak, yeah, a lot of fear was spoken with that. A lot of heinous towards murders and all this other crazy stuff. Like, so why would I sit down and be like, yeah, that's the law of the world? Like, I don't even know what these people were when they when they wrote most of this stuff. And it couldn't have been the law of the whole entire earth, because one person couldn't have got around like that. You know what I'm saying? But They do say the telomeres wasn't on the DNA and people lived a lot longer, 1,500 years, 900 something years, stuff like that. So, who's to say we wasn't there? Wasn't there. This is why I don't get into all that old stuff. You know what I mean? We're trying to go forward, not backwards. You know what I'm saying? So for me to point the finger at somebody and then explain why I feel this, I think it takes too much energy. When in fact, I could just leave your ass alone and stop talking to you. Like, it's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? Or like not put no energy to it. My grandma used to be like, my nanny used to say, you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I get in that energy. I just be like, because the next thing I say you might not like it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna say nothing to you. And that's me working on myself. What things are in you that you have to work on to make you be the best version of you? And who's been giving you lessons the way you could pay homage? Who saw you better for the person that they was? Is why they told you that shit. I don't know. I ain't gonna hold you. I just wanted to drop this in real quick because spiritual energy is a beautiful thing, but you can't couple it with civilian mentality. Like, you can't just say, hey, we're gonna add everything we feel over here to that just because that's how I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like saying you bought a Nike jacket and you sold on a Yankee emblem with a Celtics emblem, and now it's all of those companies. No, that's not. You just sold that on there. That doesn't make it what it is. Nobody's gonna be able to buy that. I'm just saying. I ain't gonna hold you. You already know the vibes. Naga, love yourself. One.